I love guys who played sports. I just love guys. You could have wrestled, or you could have played football, organized sports, just discipline, working with other people. By the way, the number one thing I think you'd want with your kid, and I think you can do it in many different forms for women, sports, music, dance, stuff like that, is if you grow up where you have somebody correcting you. I did 40 minutes of this in my kitchen last Friday with just me and Olga. But I said, look, when I was in ball, Brian, when you play football, you get into, I was just kind of explaining to Olga, look, here are the keys to success. Here's what you need to, first thing you need.
And Olga said, finally.
Yeah. Well, listen, I pay her to listen. She can work while she listens. But the point is this. Every motherfucking person in my life doing the push off as you start talking, like, yeah, okay, now, and that
don't tell me my business.
That repelling motion, don't do that. When you play football, when I was 7, you get down to a stance, and you just get down to your football stance and your 3-point stance, and then the coach, some big scary guy in a windbreaker with a beard, he like walks around, he looks at you a little bit, and then at some point he kicks your hand, and as he kicks your hand goes out. He doesn't kick it toward you, he kicks it away from you, and you fall over on your face, and then he goes, you got too much weight on your hand.
You're leaning too far forward.
You're leaning too far forward. Now get your weight centered up over your ass, bend your thighs, get your weight back, put your hand down, and then he comes back and kicks it again. Mm-hmm. Now I didn't go, hey dude, what the fuck? I understood immediately. All this guy wanted me to do is be a better football player and have better stance. Now he had a crude method for showing me that I had too much weight on my front fingers.
That's a lesson you're not going to forget.
But I didn't forget it, and I never...
Hence, you remember it right now.
That's right. It's been a scant 40 years, and I still remember it, and it was never personal. It was always just like, this guy wants this out of me, and this will be better for me. And that's all it ever was. And I grew up on a steady diet of that. If you play football, it's just that. It's just a lot of, son, guy grabbing you by your face mask, listen to me. You pick off the linebacker. You're the lead blocker. Now pick him off. And then that's all you say, and then they shove you back out on the field. There's no, why are you yelling at me? Watch your tone. Why are you getting physical? Go blame somebody else on the line. None of that. Just go do it. And then you get used to it, and then you just go have people tell you how to get better. Everything I learned about being a carpenter was some old dude coming up to me on a job site going, you're not doing it right. Do it this way. And I wouldn't go, this is the way I do it. I'd go, fine, I'll do it your way. And I became a good carpenter.
Yes. You're having a lot of emotionally significant discussions with Olga lately.
Mm-hmm.
I'm wondering, are you having the talks with her that you never had with Mom? Mm. Is that what's going on?
She is matronly. I will say that, especially since she doesn't know what that means. And she sits. You know what I like about her? She fucking works. Like, my nanny Olga's a worker. And she's also, like, she literally said, when I was done with my 25-minute tirade and getting down to my 3-point stance in my bathroom.
You got cut off at some point?
Well, that was just on the stand.
Oh, okay. The first step was another 11.
There was an extended dance version. Yeah.
Does she speak during these long conversations you have with one another?
No, she goes, she stopped when I was done, and she goes, can I do anything any better? What can I do?
Wow.
Tell me. And I said,
those are the words that must be magic to you.
I said, listen, first off, when you ask, then you're not part of the problem. It's like I would tell all the people I talk to go like, I want to be a good parent. I'm just worried that I'm not. My wife's on the other line, and we're both worried there. And I'm like, I have no worries about you, because the shitty parents never call up. They go, I love my child, and he loves me, and that's all. And I have great love, and I love him from prison, and he knows it. And he can feel it coming through the loose eye, and all that kind of stuff. It's like the person that calls and wants to know how they could be a better parent. I already know you're off my list. You're going to be a fine parent. You may not be the best, but the fact that you're asking the question, that's all Olga's thing. It's like, I want to be better. How do I get better?
Like the kid goes up to ask what kind of extra credit. Some people can do extra credit at him in class, and some people go up to the teacher afterwards and ask. Mm-hmm. You know that kid's on the path of success.
That's right, and that was Olga with my thing. But let's not push everyone off. Let's not do this is how I do it. Let's not repel everybody. And that's what I think is good about any discipline, any sports, any of that coming up.
The other component, I agree with you, the other component that both I would imagine carpentry and football have in common is when you screw up, the entire team suffers. You know, in football, you jump off the line, it's either a penalty, everyone's got to do laps, what have you, depending on game versus practice. In carpentry or construction, you screw up this one thing, they could spend half a day unfucking it. You know what I mean? They could,
yes. When you put
technical term.
No, you put up the shear wall, but you put it up horizontally instead of vertically, or you took the stamp and you put it on the inside instead of on the outside where the inspector could see it, or you use the 8-penny sinkers instead of the 10-penny ring shank, and everyone's going to have to get out the cat's paw and start pulling that thing off. And yes, it's happened
a whole day of unfucking.
Million times it's happened on a construction site where one guy cut a beam too short, fucked it up, and then everybody got everything ground to a halt and all that. And yeah, in football, it's like one guy goes off sides, everyone runs laps. Mm-hmm. You learn that super quick, and you just internalize everything. All right, so I like football. I don't like the concussion part of football, but I do like the part. I do like the part where you get a ton of discipline and you learn to play with other players, and you learn to sacrifice yourself for the better of the team. David Weil.